Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach 2022. It's going to be the round 9 review, and we had a good week. It was another very high scoring week. We'll get into the finer details in a moment here, but all across the park it was a pretty decently scored team. Couple of small letdowns, but honestly it was pretty solid all across the park. 1344, top 8% for the week, which is, yeah, that goes to show there was some pretty hefty scores. The season rank, we did jump up a little bit, 153 spots into 607 overall, so pegging some points back there. And yeah, we'll go into the how the team shaped up, and I had to make a couple of late changes. Oh, I did. Well, it was a tricky one. So we'll start out. Harry Grant, 138. Oh man, I mean the Storm. If you filled your team with Storm players, you're doing well. That's it's as simple as that. The Storm are just absolutely carving up. He played the full game. Unfortunately, Pappy went down, and also Remus Smith. So Wishart didn't come on and spell him late in the game, which was good and bad. But it was nice for his score, 138. I mean, you knew it would have happened last week if he didn't take the last 15 minutes off. So yeah, he absolutely carved up. Tom Starling, 40. It's not the worst. Like, I'll take a 40. We had a couple of players with better scores, but it is what it is. I was tossing and turning a little bit, but I thought, you know what, Starling, he just needs a couple of attacking stats. And again, even if he is only playing those 60 minutes, I don't mind it. He just, I don't know, the last couple of weeks he just hasn't found the freedom with sort of the running game. He's looked dangerous still, but the attacking stats haven't quite come. So I'm not too bothered, honestly. I'm not too bothered. He's a guy that I just feel like you just play him week on week, and eventually he is going to get that 70 plus score and make it worth it. But I guess in saying that, maybe just play Josh King because he keeps scoring well. But yeah, the front row is Papali'i, 93. My God, just the stats are unbelievable for Papali'i. He's a monster. 93 points. He didn't score a try, did he? I think it was just, he might have had a line break, a few offloads, but it was just so many runs, a bunch of tackles, tackle busts. Like, he's just an absolute machine. Pengai Jr. 67, so I feel pretty good about the trade to bring him in the week before. Like I said, Josh King, another just massive base stat game, 66. Max King also 45, so the front row forwards, at the start of the year, it was like there's no good front row forwards. But honestly, if you just went, you could have just had the cheap options of Josh King and Max King. Honestly, you just have those two. You probably wanted Papali'i. But if you just started with Josh King and Max King and just had those two, you're getting 50s on average, like a 50-55 from them every week. So that's really good, and you could have had so much money to spend elsewhere. But yeah, so the front row forwards, honestly, it's been a pretty budget friendly sort of position this year. Even though I played Josh King early in the year, but obviously with having Papali'i and now Pengai Jr. and also Tamalolo to choose from in the front row, I haven't needed to play him. But I mean, you're doing well you're doing fine if you had to. Talakai 50. Again, I'm not concerned. It was disappointing. Like, it was just one of those games. Like, obviously the Sharks were a man down. There were 2 men down at some point. I not to get too much into that game, but how the hell did Ramey not get sent off? That is cowardice. That is absolutely cowardice from the officials. Just because they were already a man off, how did they not send him off? Like, I'm gobsmacked at that. But regardless, Talakai just didn't. He got his hands on the footy a lot in, like, getting out of their own end. He had a good game, but not too much ball sort of out wide for them because playing a man down, they still created so many chances. The Warriors, oh man, the Warriors are terrible. Like, let's be real. Their defense was just atrocious. How did the Sharks continuously have overlaps with a man down? It was disgusting. But yeah, Talakai just didn't get too much footy in like good attacking position. Still plenty of work. I feel like he's definitely a keeper till the end of the year, and I guess he will. I don't know when the next sort of updates are, but he'll get the second row centre wing duel, so you'll be able to swing Talakai into your centre wing and get someone else in the back row. So that's very, very nice indeed. Tamalolo 50. It was sort of a game of what is for Tamalolo. Two sort of, one bomb try and the other one got disallowed, I think it was. So yeah, that score could have been a big one, but yeah, he didn't quite have the minutes of previous weeks, but still, got to be happy with that. He's definitely a great pickup for round 13 still, if you don't have him, I think. So Angus Crichton, you're going to be like, why the hell is Angus Crichton in the team? So there was drama. I was away, right? I was away, and of course, I was away before the Seagulls game started, and I was looking at Twitter because it happens literally every time. Every time I'm not like there for the start of a game, if I'm doing something or if I'm working or whatever, there's always a change that can screw my team. And Ola Kawatu was bloody out with sickness. Now, it wasn't COVID, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that it was just like another illness. And I was very unsure of what to do. Now, well, so what I did, right? So I traded Ola Kawatu. I was looking at options because, again, I was looking for round 13 originally. And I mean, looking back on it, I sort of wish I got Cotter. But actually no, because I wanted to get Cotter, and he had another big week. But Cotter is definitely going to play Origin. He's definitely going to play Origin, I would expect, for Queensland. I think he's definitely a bolter for them. And then I was looking at other players, and I saw Satili Tupanua. Tupanua was like, I think he was high 400s or around 500k. I traded Olakaitu for Tupanua. I was like, you know what? If he can go on a bit of a try-scoring run, he'll be a good pickup for round 13. He's cheap. 100k less than Olakauatu, and he provides similar uptake to Olakauatu, probably just not the base, but he can definitely score a try. And then, thankfully, you can still make changes, even if you sort of traded a player that wasn't playing for someone else, and then you have to trade them. You can still do it. I saw Tupanua was named on the bench, and that butcher came in. So I was like, what the fuck? So then I was like, I couldn't go back to Olakauatu, and I was torn, and I was like, you know what? Angus Crichton is probably going to play Origin, but at the end of the day, if he's getting that starting spot back, he is a bargain pickup. Even though we had him at the start of the year and we got rid of him, it is annoying to do that, but, I made some money originally from trading him down. I can't remember who I traded him to, but I traded him down. I brought him back this week. He got 64. It was solid, but honestly, even if he does play Origin, which I expect he will, although his form hasn't been great, and the Blues have a lot of back row options, so I don't know, maybe he does miss out, who knows, but I don't think he does. But I still think Crichton, picking him up for like 500k, whatever he was, he's going to be a keeper till the end of the year if he keeps that spot. So I'm just going to hold. I'm just going to hold Crichton now, probably till the end of the year, even if he plays Origin, and picking him up at a bargain price. Not the worst thing in the world. Adam Elliott, 57, so I feel pretty good about that. He played big minutes, plenty of work rate, So, yeah, if he can maintain that, I'm still, don't get me wrong, I'm still very iffy. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if, like, in a couple of weeks, or even for round 13, they just go back to Starling starting and Elliott's. But like I said in the last video before the game, or before the week, surely Elliott starts at lock if Starling gets that dummy half spot back to start. Because, I mean, Sutton is decent, but I think Elliott provides a fair bit more than Sutton. So even if he drops that dummy half role, I would expect him to start at lock and play big minutes still, because he, I've never really liked Elliott, but honestly, he's impressed me the last couple of weeks. I feel like he's added a fair bit to that Raiders starting outfit. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Jones, he's probably a guy that's definitely on the chopping block. There's no real rush to get rid of him. There's obviously a guy that a lot of people are getting in, Benny Trebojevic, which, yes, he's definitely a prospect. And if he can get a starting spot, I mean, he's an absolute must-have. But the job security is an issue. But we'll see. I probably will bring in Ben Trebojevic either in the centre wing or get out Brodie Jones for him. Tuolangi with a 31, not great. But yeah, I still think there's a bit of money to make on Tuolangi. I'm not playing him, but yeah, hopefully he can just jag a few attacking stats and make some more money, and he'll probably be a sell before round 13, because the Tigers don't play. Yeah, the Tigers don't play in round 13. Going into the halves, so Nathan Cleary, a big 40 through the vice captaincy on him. Thankfully I didn't captain him. I was never going to captain him straight off the bat, because I knew the Eels were going to turn up. Like I said in the previous Supercoach video that I was pretty keen on the Eels. I was pretty confident that they would bounce back. I wouldn't have tipped them in a tipping comp, but putting a bit of money on the Eels, yeah, 100%, because you just knew they were going to turn up against the Panthers. The Panthers, they're due for a loss. It's just the way NRL works. Like, you can't. They obviously won a lot in a row, and same last year, but always that next win, they're always closer to a loss, and you just knew the Eels are going to turn it around. Dylan Brown going to 5'8", they look just so much better. I mean, it's a night and day difference when Brown is in the halves partnering Moses. And as you can see, Brown with a 71 back to his best, very nice. Unfortunately, bloody Munster got like 130. So Munster's starting to pull away a little bit in terms of averages overall, but I'm still very happy I picked up Brown. But Munster is starting to hurt. He's starting to hurt the non-owners. Blake Taff with a 51. Again, I played him. I did tip my Broncos, and the Broncos were very good. I couldn't believe the price. It's like people that were betting like didn't actually watch the Broncos play or didn't watch the Rabbitohs. They just saw like the big score against the Manly team, and forgot that they were playing with the man advantage, and also that the Broncos just beat the Sharks. Like, I was shocked. I was shocked at the Broncos. I mean, yeah, Payne Haas and Capel were out, which are massive, but geez, the Broncos were good. They were very strong in defense, and the Rabbitohs, like I was saying, like Cody Walker obviously went big last week, and he went okay. I think he probably got like 50, 60 this week. He did get a try assist, but I have not been impressed with Cody Walker at all, and I get why people brought him in, because he is very cheap and he does have the potential, but I just have not been impressed. So I just can't see myself going with Walker, at least until Mitchell is back. Maybe after the second bye, or like just before that bye, picking up Walker then might be a good play, and for the run home potentially, but I need to see something. Lockie Ilias, so that's right. That's right. I made a few changes because I had Schuster. That's the other one. I had Schuster. I don't know. I can't remember what I settled on in that the latest video, the preview for round 9. But at one point I did have Schuster, which was nice that he got ruled out. Like, not good for NRL and stuff, but it was sort of nice in a way because it sort of forced my hand that I just had no reason to go Schuster early then. And Ilias got 52, so he's going to make a little bit more cash, which is nice. And then we go into the back line. So Taylor May pulling out another 96. I feel like a lot of people sold Taylor May last week, which I don't really understand why. Let's say how many teams... 52% of teams still have him, so not that many. But yeah, killed it. Isaac Tago, he was another guy that a lot of people selling. 65% of teams still have him, so maybe not that many, but he was a popular sell, and I can see why, but I don't know. At this point, I just feel like I feel like he's still got some decent points to put up, and I mean, he's averaging 56. He's averaging 56. He'll play round 13. I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep him for round 13. I don't really care if he loses that much money, honestly. I don't know. It's a weird one, but I feel like if you have plenty of trades left, if you've saved a few, then yeah, maybe trade Tago out if you want to, but I don't know. For me, that's used quite a few trades already. I'm not that keen on trading him out. Tupolotu, who I brought in late. So at the time when I made that video, it was down to, do I bring in Schuster or Tass? I think Tass was the other guy that I was looking at. But I just didn't really like Tass. He was going to make money, but, you know, I just wasn't a fan of the Rabbitohs attack, so I wasn't that keen on him. He didn't score that well. He would have made some money, but I went with a bit of a pod play with Tupolotu. Obviously, Tommy Trbojevic being back, he was at a weird price of 277, but he went up 100k. he obviously got that. He went up 84k. That's crazy. He obviously how many teams? 12% of people have him now. So he did go up. He was a lot lower than that before I got him. But yeah, you got to try. 70 points still. That's really good. And then Joseph Sawali with an 86. Kula with 46 and Valia 32. Oh man. Oh, Valia. He's going to be a bit of a slow burn. But we'll probably just keep him to round 13. Hopefully he can bag a couple of tries in that round, but not a huge fan. And then the fullbacks, Pappenhausen, we had the captaincy on him, and unfortunately he did go off injured, and he's going to be out for potentially a couple of weeks. Now that's the biggest concern. Do you trade him out? Do you bring in Tom Trbojevic? Do you just hold him? I don't know. I don't know. I'm leaning towards just getting Trbojevic in because, I mean, you know, it's Tommy Trbojevic. He's going to be, that's the thing. Trbojevic is going to be a keeper till the end of the year. And then, at that point, I'm going to be low on fullbacks for round 13, but that's whatever. But by a certain point, I can swing Hines back up into the halves and trade out Taff for Pappenhausen, potentially. You know, that's sort of an ideal world. And then obviously Nico Hines at 185. I mean, the people that captain Hines obviously are laughing. You would have been furious if you captained him and then all of a sudden they get a man sent off, a man in the bin who should have been sent off. You would have been fuming, but he got 185. He was, I mean, and I wasn't surprised. I saw a few people on Twitter acting like he got these unicorn points, and I'm usually on that side, but honestly, I was watching that game and I'm like, holy shit. I wasn't keeping up to date with the scoring, but I was like, he is going to absolutely kill it. He had so many forced dropouts, so many offloads and tackle breaks. He was literally touching the ball so many times a set. It was unreal. And obviously he played fullback as well, so his runs are up. he was having an absolute barnstorming game. So I knew there was going to be a big score. And then, 185. So yeah, that's how we went. It was a good week. Like I said, Papenhuyzen is it's one of those things, right? Because if he's out for 2 weeks, that's not that long. But he's obviously, does he play Origin? I guess that's the other conundrum. Does he play Origin? Like, I'm sort of, I don't know. Because at this point, I feel like Hines is going to be the 14. Like, I just don't. If you're going to go Papenhuyzen or Hines as your number 14, surely you go Hines because he can just cover more positions than Pappy. I mean, it's ridiculous to think Papenhuyzen doesn't get picked, but I mean, I don't think he does, right? I don't think he does. They're obviously not dropping Tedesco, and you're not going to play Pappy in the wing or center spots. So, he might not play Origin, but do you just? I don't know. It's a tough call, and I'm not sure. Manly are taking on Broncos. I feel like the Broncos have been good, but I feel like Tommy is going to. I feel like he's going to carve up, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so torn on that one. I don't know what to do there. And then anyone else I'm looking at, I mean, Tago, like I said, I think I'm just going to keep him. Lockie Ilias, obviously I'm looking at trading at some point, but I'm not in any real rush at the moment. Dylan Brown, I'd love to get Munster, but Brown's still getting 70 points. The Storm aren't going to keep getting 40 plus points a game. It's absurd. So I think just keep Brown until he sort of falls off, and after Origin, probably bring in Munster. But I think I'm just going to keep him and hope Munster doesn't keep going 100 plus. And then the forwards, I'm pretty set there. Brodie Jones has to go, and that's probably where I bring in Ben Trebojevic. I think that's probably the trade I'm gonna make, and I'm probably only gonna make one trade this week, unless I do Papenhuyzen. And I mean, the other guy that I've seen thrown up a little bit, and also I've got a heaps of money in the bank too, which is nice. I do want to keep a little bit saved up for, being able to get any sort of keeper I want during this time. But if we look at the players, that's right. Ruben Garrick's not even a fullback on this. He's just a centre wing. I was thinking I could get Ruben Garrick, but no, he's just a centre wing. So it's pretty much. I mean, Tommy is just the obvious choice. Drinkwater isn't bad, but they've got a really tough run coming up. I think they play the Storm and then Panthers. He does play round 13, which is great, but I feel like Drinkwater, he's going to be a trade in and then a trade out pretty quickly, because he's not at the level of the top fullbacks. He's been great, and he is averaging more than Tedesco by quite a margin, and also Tommy Trbojevic, I guess, as well. But, he's not going to keep scoring as well as the top fullbacks, let's be real. Joey Manu, maybe. He won't play Origin. He'll probably play fullback in that round 13. Nick Meaney is a sneaky one, but, if Pappy's only out for 2 weeks, then Meaney just goes straight back to the wing. But, he'll have that fullback spot and the goal kicking. It's a nice trade, but unfortunately, I don't know. It's just a bit risky with how long he could be out, and then you're not going to get anyone else for. No one else is really worth it. So big decisions to make, but that's how we went this week. It was a good week. Unfortunately, didn't captain Nico Hines, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Supercoach, it all rides on who you captain. I've been whinging about it forever, and I'll continue to whinge about it. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.